Hey Hippo Nation, I'm Todd Robinson, Communications Director for Hutto ISD, and we're continuing our series with the Head Hippo Information Hour with our Superintendent, Dr. Selena Estrada Thomas. And today she'll be visiting with students from Hutto High School, just getting their perspective on what it's been like over the last year dealing with school during a pandemic. The Head Hippo Information Hour is designed to bring current topics to life and show you how we press on in today's challenging times. So let's listen in as Dr. Thomas visits with some of our Hutto High School students.
Hello Hippo Nation, and welcome to the Head Hippo Information Hour. I'm really excited about today's session. We're here at Hutto High School with members of the Superintendent's Staff Advisory Council. And I want to thank them for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Hayden?
I'm Hayden LaJudas, and I'm a senior here.
I'm Alex Davis, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Kari Jones, and I'm a sophomore.
So for today's information session, Hippo Nation, we're going to be talking about the year's experiences with in-person learning and virtual learning. Hayden and Alex have been in-person learning since we started the school year, and Kahari has been in virtual learning. So today's topic, I just want them to share with us what their experiences have been like this school year amidst a pandemic. Very unusual year, very unusual circumstances that both our students and our teachers have been navigating. So who would like to start? Alex or Hayden, talk to us about your decision to decide to come to in-person learning versus virtual.
I feel like I learned a lot better with on-hands learning than through a computer watching the teacher do it. I have to have somebody be able to be there and help me as I go through things like math. That's one thing I have to be able to actually look at in person and do with myself with somebody helping me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me, it's kind of like more of time management because I'm not good at like doing this stuff. Like they just give it to me all in one day, and like I'm not good at do this at this time, this at this time. Like I'd rather have like the periods and like the schedule. It's just easier for me to control.
Good job. So the in-person was definitely, it fit your learning style, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Kahari, tell us about your decision to stay with virtual learning.
My decision for virtual learning was some personal reasons, and that I've become more independent, and I can kind of handle a heavier workload now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with Hayden that I do need hands-on learning, but teachers do help you. They communicate with you, and they will try to help you the best they can.
That's fantastic. That's good to know. So your teachers have stayed in communication with you throughout this entire time. You run into any difficulty, you let them know, and you can set up a time to talk to them.
They even have tutorials.
Online tutorials, yes. So what have been some of your best subjects so far?
This year, probably algebra, and it just depends. Sometimes world history, but just sometimes.
Okay, I'm glad to hear algebra. Awesome.
Economics and government, and then financial mathematics.
Financial. There's been a lot of conversation about financial mathematics. So tell us about that course.
It's a new course, so they just started it this year. There's one class, and we've gone through how to budget, how to save for college, and through the class, that's one of the smartest decisions I've made this year and throughout my high school year, because now I know how to budget and save for college and keep myself in check with my money and not go into debt so early.
Awesome. So, Kahari, what has been your favorite class in virtual learning?
My favorite class this year has been English.
English. Tell us why. We'll just expand.
I love reading, and I love everything to do with English and literature. And so English, too, has been wonderful for me in venturing out and finding new books to explore.
Okay, tell us, can you think of a book that you read this year that's been particularly inspiring?
Internment.
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 I don't know that I've read that one.
It's pretty good. I forget who it's written by, but it's about a girl and her family who are taken into a Muslim internment camp, and they fight to get out and fight those who are in charge.
Awesome, fantastic. I may have to look that book up.
It's wonderful.
So you may or may not know, as we're making plans for 2021, 2022, looking into the next school year, we're looking at possibly continuing to offer virtual learning for the next school year. Maybe not on a wide scale like we did this year, of course, because of COVID, but for students like you, Kahari, who have really enjoyed that sense of independence and the ability to self-pace, what would be some recommendations for improving virtual learning? What kind of suggestions do you have for us?
Some recommendations. I'd say helping students understand time and helping them control their time and space and not spend so much time here and spend more time there. And just controlling themselves and calming down themselves and taking time to do work.
Pacing. In other words. Yes, teaching students how to pace themselves.
Right.
Okay. What do you think have been some of the biggest lessons? And let's approach it from two angles. What have been the biggest lessons with learning? What have been the biggest lessons with social emotional learning? Anybody who wants to go first?
Just like the patience you have to have, like it's a lot of unknown things. So you don't know what's gonna happen next. You don't know if you're gonna be quarantined. You don't know if this whole school's gonna shut down. You don't know all of this thing, and just like having that nothing to lean on and know what's gonna happen in the future is hard, but you still just have to wait and see what happens.
Beautifully said. So patience with one another.
Yeah, that, and like with having patience, you don't know what other people are going through. Like I don't know what everybody else is going through. You only know about yourself and maybe some of your friends, what they're going through. So you have to be patient with one another and being understanding of their predicaments and what they're going through.
Yes, definitely. Kahari?
We need to take care of each other.
Yes.
We need to look out for each other and see what we need as a community. Yeah.
Taking care of each other, checking in with each other, and asking, right? Because we don't know what other people have been struggling with. We know our own, and like Hayden said, we may know what is happening with a couple of our close friends, but we may not know about what's happening on a large scale. That's very insightful. I appreciate that. What about learning? What have been some of the biggest lessons with learning, with using technology on such a wide-scale basis? What are some of the things we've learned along those lines?
It's probably going to help us in the future, for years and years when this whole pandemic is over, hopefully.
Learning all the shortcuts and things on the computer.
Being able for the teachers to connect with us too, and just making everything more simple. And
Yeah, I like that, staying connected. So you think you're going to stay connected with a lot of your teachers?
and you can even stay connected with them.
Yes, and with your friends, you found another way. Karu?
I like writing emails.
You like writing emails?
I've learned how to write correct emails now.
Oh,
So-
it's not like texting, is it?
It's not.
It is not. Yes.
As soon as you throw in that text language, then
LOL.
then you're not getting any help from your teacher.
Oh, okay. So you've learned how to write emails. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Yes, because it is not texting. Any other big lessons? Did y'all have any problems with the technology? Using Canvas or Google or any of those platforms?
Every once in a while, the internet would be a little
Spotty?
yeah.
Okay. Spotty internet, yes, definitely.
Or just trying to completely as you get Google Classroom and stuff like that, but completely understanding it and completely because I know sometimes things will be due, but it doesn't always show up when it's due, and just being able to have to look in there, go to the all the different tabs that's in there. Yeah. But besides that, no.
Okay. So let's think back. I kind of want to do a look back and then a look now. So think about when we started school back in August. What were you thinking about? Were you scared? Were you apprehensive? What was going through your mind about coming to school in person in the middle of a pandemic? And as the year has progressed, today in April to 2021, how are you feeling now? So kind of do a look back and then go to a look now.
For me, I was ready to start school, just to finish out my senior year back at school and not having to do it through a computer at home. Being able to come back, and then now I'm just ready for it to progress. A little nervous about graduating and being on my own, but
Any fears about safety? Any concerns about safety?
not as much. Not as much as whenever it started, because I've learned to wear my mask more. But
Yeah. And it's not fogging up your glasses, I can see.
not as much.
For me, it was probably like when it first started, it was kind of like, oh, this will pass in a month or everything will be fine. But then I feel like once it kind of, I always have like my moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen? Like I don't know what to do when, like all that. But like now I'm just feeling very like, okay, just stay safe, keep away from like the people that are high risk, and just
Yeah.
like go with the flow.
Yes.
It caused me to adapt.
To
Quickly.
adapt. Yes.
Yeah, wearing a mask was very new to me. It was part of culture, but
Yeah.
yeah, it caused you to adapt
Adapt.
and differently than normal.
Yes. So how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling perfectly fine. It's school. I'm used to it. Wearing a mask is normal now.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Were there ever any concerns for your safety one way or the other? Did we do a good job with that? Could we do anything better?
I feel like it's just kind of like everybody's personal thing. Like everybody kind of has to do their own thing right now, and like if you don't feel safe, then you take however you want to take that, and if you feel safe, then you take that however you want to take it, but still keep everybody safe.
That's right. Okay. All right, last question. Let's kind of wrap this up. We're going into 21, 22, making plans. As your superintendent, what recommendations would you give me that I could take to our principals? What have we done well? What has gone super well? What do we continue to do?
resources for students.
What kind, Kari? Can you give me an example?
Mental,
Mental?
financial.
Oh, financial, yes.
Yeah, just being able to go to a counselor and say, I need help with this, and my teacher really isn't helping right now, and I need that help. Yeah.
Resources.
I feel like with the pandemic, it's obviously been hard, but like just being able to like be more connected. Like obviously it's hard just because of what's going on, but I feel like this year I wasn't as close with everybody as I was last year, but I mean I'm still close with people. It's just not how it used to be, which I know it's hard, but maybe next year hopefully it'll come all back together.
Yes, we'll come back together.
The teachers were they were able to support us really well, like emotionally, physically, whatever. They were able to help us in the classroom and with stuff that was happening at home, and they tackled those really well.
That's great to hear. I know for our teachers listening, they'll be happy to hear that, Hayden. Well, I want to thank you all for being a part of this Hippo Information Hour. Can't tell you how much I have missed you, not being around you, but hopefully we can get back to our regular meeting schedule and start tackling some of those planning issues as we look to 21, 22. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.